was like, oh, that's good. Okay.
Well, we were not off camera. It went something like this.
Performance issues are not uncommon. About half of the population deals with it every year.
Not only do I get that reference, but you're referring to yourself and your performance issue before this show started. Oops. Oh my goodness. We're back and we're talking Superman. Welcome to Capes, Cowls, and Conversations. If you are watching this, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, follow, leave a comment in the comment section. We're open for all of it. We're going to get into Superman. It's apparently a touchy subject because we can't talk about it off camera without fighting. So you're probably going to see Ultraman over there throw down with me here in a second.
Wow.
The results will be about exactly the same as what you saw in this movie.
I don't think you get to call me Ultraman because I feel like I'm as passionate as Clark is about his side of the story.
No, the way that you become Ultraman over there is because I'm bigger than you, I'm older than you, and who's your daddy?
Okay. Clark, first of all, Clark isn't his dad.
You're closer to being my clone than I am to being your clone because I came first.
Like you.
I came first.
I've heard it both ways.
Can't say that.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's heard it both ways. Like he heard that Gantu and Gontu were the ways you could pronounce that.
Okay, the lady calls him Gontu, calls her Gap because she's British.
That's
she
a completely
pronounces-
different side
But
tangent.
she pronounces
Oh
the
boy,
A
here we go.
with a British accent, so it's
I admit
Gontu.
that I started this whole thing. So
Anyway.
I apologize, Connor.
Connor.
Yes, for putting him through your explanation of why.
I've
you
never
think silly
once
things sometimes.
heard the
We'll have to-
councilwoman say
Pretty
gone
sure it's
to.
Gontu. Yeah, for her specifically, her. Pretty sure she pronounces it Gontu.
Nope.
No.
I can go and find the clip.
You tried earlier and you failed.
Right now, we're going to talk Superman. We're going to talk the greatest superhero movie of the month of July so far.
It's not. Well, okay, yeah, we still have Fantastic Four.
I still think
We have Fantastic Four.
But it's even just by itself, it's not the greatest. It's still good, but I wouldn't say great.
top
Okay.
3 Superman movie of all time.
Top 3.
It's probably number 3 for me. It would go Donner Cut 2, for Superman. So it'd be Superman 2, Donner Cut, and then the original Superman, and then this movie.
This is just at the top because I only remember the Zack Snyder stuff. I don't remember the older Superman movies at all.
Well, here's to make most of the population, half the population, angry. The Snyder stuff sucks.
Yes.
All of it.
Yeah.
Every
I
bit of
agree.
it,
I mean,
it's
okay,
trash.
so I did make a comment the other day on Facebook. There are things that Zack Snyder still kind of gets right about Superman. It's so far in a little box because everything else is so bad that it kind of makes that suck too. You know, it's not that that everything about those movies is bad. There's enough bad that it makes the good. It outshines the good.
I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with what you're saying. If you're saying it about this movie,
I disagree.
There's
This movie's way
there
better.
are some things that are good about this movie. Here we go. There are some things that are good about this movie. I think, but there's enough wrong with it, in my opinion, that I don't like it as a Superman movie. I thought it was an entertaining movie. I don't like it as a Superman movie because one, I don't feel like it's a movie about
I
Superman.
do
It is a
because
movie
I
about
think it shows a good representation of like his, I guess, earlier career, and then he finally loses a major fight.
Well, he loses and then he overcomes it.
Yeah.
He figures out how to overcome it. He realizes what's going on and he overcomes it. And he does take part in saving the day. That's why I don't.
No. Take part in saving the day from what? From Ultraman?
He stops Ultraman which gives Mr. Terrific the ability to stop the rift thing, while the Justice Gang stops the war in Moravia and the other country that I can never
But let's
remember.
be honest. Superman was more concerned about saving a dog from a Godzilla-esque thing stepping on it than actually saving the people that could have been.
He was saving
Well, the people were
What are
also
you talking- he
evacuating
saved-
at
he
the
was-
same time.
Not when the Godzilla monster was there.
Yeah, he was saving people. He saved a dog.
He was
saved the
more concerned about saving the squirrel than the millions of people.
I think you need to rewatch
And
that scene.
I know, because we had this conversation off camera, I know that you feel like they were evacuating the city.
They
You just said it.
Yeah,
we talked
I
about it earlier.
Thought they were evacuating.
They
said
were
that the city-
evacuating the city, but that doesn't make
There's an line.
sense.
Okay, but there's a line that says they evacuated the city, so that argument goes out the window, regardless of if it doesn't make sense or not. They do clarify that the city has been evacuated. And there's enough evidence of it because literally Mr. Terrific was trying to stop the whole thing and reports it to people that it's headed towards Metropolis.
right.
Yeah.
And suddenly, the 25 million people in Metropolis magically all didn't run over each other getting out of the city. They just calmly evacuated perfectly and got out of town in minutes.
I don't know what you want me to say here because it
I
They
just
make
want
it
you to
clear.
acknowledge that
Well,
it's
okay,
stupid.
they
No,
make
so
it clear that it's
theoret-
evacuated.
No, yeah, I just want you to acknowledge that that's ignorant.
It's a comic book movie.
There are comic book movies that get it right.
Not all of them.
Not this one.
Sokovia was supposedly fully evacuated before the city went down. The only people that died were under the city.
Okay.
Which
First
I
of
swore
all,
they said to also evacuate the people from the
No.
estimated blast radius.
No, they evacuated the city.
first of all, Sokovia was evacuated by the heroes,
Okay.
including a
Yes.
guy who could run faster than time moves.
Yes.
They,
Okay? That is suspending disbelief for a superpower. You want me to suspend disbelief for no superpower and say that people just calmly evacuated a city without any problems. It'd be one thing for superheroes to be helping evacuate the
it's not
city.
the point
It's
of the movie.
I know, but my point is this movie makes some silly stands over things that you're just like, what? Come on, they evacuated the city like this. And Superman.
Like, I don't know. To me, that's just a really.
I can see the point though, because if you think about it, when people are like evacuating Miami because of a hurricane, people are rushing onto the highways. There's gonna be
they
wrecks.
traffic jam and don't
Yeah.
actually get
I
out
get-
of the city.
I get what you're saying. I am saying for the movie, they make it clear that it's evacuated. It's not like, oh, they're saying, oh, there's still people in the city, and then they're just having this massive battle. They make it clear it's evacuated. So by the
It's
movie,
also been a few days, so I'm slowly starting to lose
No,
pieces
but, like,
of the
I remember-
movie.
I remember the
It's
whole
been a
movie.
few days. Certain parts are starting to leave my brain.
And by the way, he saved a person in the clip on the. Yeah, no.
One. He saved a
Multiple.
person, a squirrel, and a dog.
Okay, but they still took it out. So I don't know what you want. And there were 4 people involved in that battle.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, Clark is going to choose the humane route and not try to kill a creature if he doesn't have to. That's just Clark. That's Superman.
And that's just one that I think is a silly thing in this movie.
That's Superman all the time. He doesn't just outright kill unless.
I don't think he
absolutely
kills. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it's one thing for the movie to make this assumption that basically DC's New York City could evacuate in minutes like it's nothing. And Superman is more concerned about saving the squirrel because all the people are magically gone from the city. That's silly.
He's more focused on the fight because the city's evacuated.
Except that it wouldn't be. But okay,
Okay,
that's
but-
what I'm calling silly. That's what I'm calling silly. But then, because it wouldn't be evacuated. I mean, let's just acknowledge, just like Connor said, a hurricane's coming toward Miami. They're leaving days in advance and causing traffic jams. And
Oh, yeah.
and we're supposed to believe that New York City, as the rift is coming to it, is suddenly just magically evacuated. That's a giant leap. First of all,
Except that it's done, so I don't know why. It's just not worth. Like I don't get judging the movie on a line of dialogue. It's stated to be evacuated, so he focuses on the fight. I don't know. It's just not something I deem that big of a deal. It would be a bigger deal to me
if you
they,
can evacuate cities
it
that
would be a
fast, then you
big-
should never have any disasters that Superman really has to worry about the loss of human
But
life.
it would be a bigger deal to me if they didn't say anything. If they just said, we're evacuating the city. And then, like, all of a sudden, magically everybody's, like, gone. And Superman does not. But they said the city was evacuated, that people were leaving and gone. So it doesn't bug me. It doesn't bug me that much.
Okay. Like I said, that's just.
And also, actually, only half of Metropolis was affected, so they could have gotten far into the city without dying.
That's not how that would work.
If they left before the rift started getting there,
That's not how that would work.
So
If the rift is coming toward Metropolis, they're not going to go, well, we think he'll stop it before it gets halfway across the city.
would-
I guess we'll stop at halfway mark.
I'm not saying they stopped half. I'm saying they were actively moving. I'm saying that both are happening at the same time, and they started evacuating the night before because it was already headed that direction. Then yes, they had ample time to get far enough away it wouldn't have affected anybody.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not really sure there's plausible stuff there to make it make sense. They had time and they made it clear that it was evacuated. So that's not that big a deal to me.
Okay.
Like I think a bigger deal would
I
be.
can't think of any other things that had like any evacuation things that I can compare
And
it to.
the creature, I mean,
Avengers.
you could sit there and
Well, yeah, outside of Sokovia, I was trying to think of
Avengers.
okay, well,
Original
let's-
Avengers is
Let's
in New
get
York
into
City,
Avengers.
Yeah.
Let's get into
where
it.
people are still in the buildings.
Let's talk about Avengers. People still in the buildings. And what are the Avengers doing to save these people?
They're trying to stop the
than
giant
Cap.
worm monsters coming through the sky
They're
through the buildings.
They're not stopping to help civilians much. Cap is for a second, and then
Cap
he gets knocked right
coordinates the
back out to
poli-
the fight.
Cap coordinates the police to do it. He literally tells the
coordinates
police,
to set up basically a
But I'm
perimeter.
saying-
set up perimeters and get people out of the buildings. That's what he tells them.
I'm saying you're putting so much pressure on the superhero to save all of Metropolis. Like,
No,
go in
I'm
and-
putting pressure on the movie to be realistic. I don't care what Superman does. I care what James Gunn does. I care that he goes, you know what? There's no possible way the Metropolis actually gets evacuated, so let's put Superman in a situation where he has to save actual people and not squirrels.
He did save people.
One.
Multiple. You need to go back and rewatch that monster fight again, because there were way more people he saved. He spent the whole fight saving people. It wasn't even fighting the creature most of the time. That was the Justice Gang. He was going around saving animals, people. It wasn't just, oh, I'm gonna fight the big creature.
Well,
and
he
then
was
stop.
also saving people because he was trying to figure out a way to take care of the monster without killing it.
Right.
Again, also, Superman, up to my 47th year of life, has been the strongest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Hands down. You know, he can hold a giant building, 60-story building, from falling over. But he can't fly this monster out of Metropolis to fight him somewhere not in the middle of
we
people.
We don't know the Superman's feats. Okay, this is still early career Superman. The most we saw was that he, for a few
I
minutes,
swear
held.
at this age though this would be his like
Peak.
No,
strength.
they get stronger as they age. It's like
But this is like his like early to mid 20s, ain't it?
His mid-20s.
Yeah.
so he gets
Post-college-
stronger
post-college,
as they age.
mid-20s.
They're stronger the older they get. That's part of the stuff they took for Invincible. It's the same stuff. He gets old. He gets stronger the older he is,
Yeah, but when you
and the
look
closer
at
to the sun he is.
when you look at the athletes, when
That's
you
the
look at
other thing. I
athletes, they
feel
have
like
a thing
they
called their
treated
prime.
his regeneration from the sun a little bit slower.
What?
Okay,
got-
hold on. Back up for a second. He's in his prime. Period.
That's not his prime.
Yeah.
Even back.
Your prime is a 10 to 15 year stretch, and it starts in your mid 20s. Anybody who's athletic, whatever, starts in your mid 20s and goes into your 30s, that's your prime. He's in his prime. Okay?
They don't consider, I'm talking about from a comic book standpoint, which James Gunn was basing this on. Batman and Superman don't reach their prime until they're almost 30 in the comics. That's just how you're going by real world physics, and that's not what this movie is doing. So when you compare to that, like you put these blocks on this thing that it's creatively done, it's well done, it's based on the comics very heavily. The stuff that Superman is the main character. He is about the only character that goes through a character arc other than Lex and Lois. And Lois's character arc is being better in a relationship, while Lex's character arc is just kind of being, he doesn't end his arc satisfyingly. His whole thing is that he's calling Superman an it, and Clark proves that he's human. I don't know what else you want there. He goes through a character arc though. He is the main character. Even if he's not the sole hero of the story.
Again, when I watch a movie about a superhero, I go into it wanting that superhero to be the hero of his story. Who is the
hero of Captain America Civil War? Who is that?
First of all, the fact that it's Civil War, it means it's not a Captain America movie. It was named Captain America to complete.
But he's the main character, right?
No.
Yes.
No, he's not.
It's his movie.
It's not.
Then why is it
Civil War? Civil War is based on a Avengers comic to begin with,
right? But
the Avengers as a whole. The Avengers as a whole are the stars of that movie. You chose a bad. If you're going to make an analogy, you need to choose a better one. No, it's not.
And he is the main character.
We know by the fact that it's called Civil War that it is not a Captain America movie.
The most amount of screen time goes to Steve.
Okay, great.
It is his movie.
It's not his movie. It is a It is a Avengers movie. Okay. It was always an Avengers movie the entire time. This is
a pre-Justice League movie starring Superman.
I swore we've had this discussion, and I swore I've said I've even counted Civil War as an Avengers movie.
But my point is that this is a pre-Justice League Superman movie. This is just Justice League with Superman as the starring character, which happened a lot in Justice League Unlimited. It's called Justice League Unlimited, but there'll be Superman-centric episodes. That's basically what this is. There are Justice League
maybe they should have named this movie Justice League: Superman.
Why?
Huh?
They're side
because
characters.
Apparently they're going to tell Justice League stories through the eyes of individual characters. Yeah, so they don't
have to go in and reintroduce all these characters individually the way that Marvel did. They don't have to go in and do Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and then do the Avengers thing. They can just
Except how many of these people are actually going to be Justice League members by the end of it? You know that Green Lantern there is not going to be the Green Lantern of the Justice League.
They're doing that with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. That was Nathan Fillion. With Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. So those characters are being introduced.
So they're going to have to introduce them, and they're introducing them on HBO.
But they are being introduced so that they can do and by the way, Nathan Fillion's in that show.
I know.
So it's going to
temporarily.
But that's not the point. It's just so that you don't have to go in and reintroduce only core characters before introducing other characters. That way all these characters can appear in and out of projects.
I understand that, but Superman is not. To me, this movie is not a Superman movie. It's called Superman. It's not a Superman movie.
He's the main focus of the movie.
They could have just called this movie DC for all I care, because there's a lot of DC thrown into it, but it is not singularly Superman.
You could call Thor Ragnarok Avengers Ragnarok.
Not Avengers Ragnarok.
It's only Civil War.
It's only him and Hulk.
It's like a prelude to Infinity War. You could just make it an Avengers sequel and just call it Avengers. It's really
you can't because it's just Thor and Hulk. You could have made a buddy team up movie, and Thor and Hulk. Captain
America could just be called Avengers Civil War. You're right. I'm not just.
It should have been.
My whole.
It should have been.
My whole point there was that Cap is the primary focus of that movie, like Superman is here. But there's just a lot of other characters from the Marvel Universe in there. So it's his movie,
And
but he's got-
ultimately, there's not a hero of that movie. But if there was one,
Stark.
it's Cap.
it's Cap.
Well,
But Superman is not the ultimate hero of this movie. It's
Everyone-
not Stark. It's
every-
Cap.
I got outvoted.
everyone here is a hero, though. That's the point. Clark does do something in the battle. He has to do what he's doing, otherwise, Ultraman keeps running around. So if he doesn't do that, then the black hole doesn't get shut. And then the black hole is its own thing, and then the war is a whole other thing. Everyone's got to take their part. It's not just Superman's got to do everything. Like, why? Okay, you introduced all these characters. Why would you want Clark to be the only person to stop all the stuff going on?
I'm not saying he has to stop all the stuff. I'm just saying he needs to be the biggest hero of his movie, but he's not. He spends more time losing in his own movie. That you cannot say about Civil War. Steve did not spend more time losing in his own movie. Superman spent more time losing in his own movie than the side characters. All the side characters
And
win,
he
and
overcomes
Superman
it.
loses. At the end, he wins his solo battle, but he
That's-
spends more time losing in his own movie. Losing. This is America's basically greatest hero in the comic books, in the DC comic books. I
Okay.
know that you're going to say they got rid of truth, justice,
no,
and the
no, no,
American
no,
way.
no, no.
But
No, I'm gonna-
this is
I'm gonna
America's
bring up-
greatest
I'm gonna bring up
hero.
something
Can
else.
I finish?
Sure, go for it.
This is America's greatest hero in the comic books, not in this movie, in the comic books for DC. This is America's greatest hero.
So should
And basically, you turn him into America's greatest loser for the whole movie.
not the whole movie.
And then at the end, he wins his battle against his clone, which that's the excuse that he lost, is that it was his clone because nobody else could beat him.
Well, and I
Why-
don't know
that's not
why
an
Lex
excuse,
had
that's just a
Ultraman
fact.
use a metal robotic suit.
because if he done the Ultraman,
Why not stick with the
Because
boy's
the
costume
whole-
that he had?
What are you talking about? The whole point of using the
It's
hammer,
Black Noir.
the whole point of using the hammer of Bravia was to pin it on Bravia so that they could distract everybody away from LexCorp. What are you talking about?
He could have done that with the Black Noir costume.
It was no, because the whole point was to get eyes on Bravia. It's a distraction.
Nothing about that suit said Baravia. It only said Baravia because he said, "I am the Hammer of Baravia."
Right,
and
but
I
you
will
want him
blah,
to
blah,
wear
blah."
a giant suit with a U and then call himself the Hammer of Bravia. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I want him to
Okay.
wear that Black Noir costume he was
Oh, no,
wearing under
okay.
the
Which
Hammer
has
of
a
Baravia.
giant U on it.
I see the point though that Cam's trying to make. The whole reason, Hammer
Hammer time.
Plus, if they said it was, if he used,
the
it
Hammer
would
of
make it
Baravia.
obvious that it was a.
It was to move the focus because Clark had just ended the war over there, and then so Lex basically tried to do a 180 to get the people to turn on Clark.
Plus, it would make it more obvious that it was a clone if it wasn't a robot suit at the beginning. Then Clark would have figured that out much quicker, because it's a human-sized guy with the same strength level. Who else could do that?
Also,
That would spoil the whole thing.
it was metal, but it wasn't lead. So why didn't he just X-ray vision it?
We haven't seen him
We
use his
didn't
X-ray
know.
at
We
all.
don't know what it was made of. That was not explained.
They
I'm
barely showed his X-ray in this movie.
Yeah, they didn't actually show any. Oh no, did they?
They showed
One
a
scene?
couple scenes, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember if they used his X-ray vision.
I remember the heat vision. I don't remember the X-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But Smallville
Ability-
establishes that he had
abilities-
X-ray vision when he was in high school.
okay, but
Yeah.
we don't know what the suit was made of, so I'm not gonna point them on that because I don't know what the suit was made of. If I knew the suit was made of just like, I don't know, copper, then I'd be like, okay.
Well,
that's a
see, I feel
problem.
like they wouldn't have used lead since it was being piloted by the clone.
I mean, Clark has. Oh, yeah, because then he couldn't. Well, but no, because he could see out of the visor. He didn't need X-ray vision to fight Superman. Why would he need X-ray vision to fight Superman?
Vitals.
Why would he need his vitals?
The same way that a Terminator attacks?
He's not. He doesn't need. He's being told. First of all, he's not even smart enough to use that. They make it clear he's an idiot.
true.
And then yeah, so
I mean, Lex should have a Z47 for it. X69.
X-ray vision's not a move; it's a passive ability in his body. So I don't. know
No, it's
why.
an active ability. You look, you concentrate, you see X-ray.
They should. I'm
So-
sorry. They should have added that as one of the abilities.
What
X-ray vision, and then it'll like mark enemies
in
in
what?
Fortnite.
Oh, in Fortnite. Well, but that might have been too much.
Sorry, just a little thought.
But
I'm not enjoying the Superman version of
am.
Fortnite
But-
right
but-
now.
but
I didn't love this movie. I didn't hate it. It was a good movie in my opinion.
I still think,
but
it's a good
I don't think it was a
movie.
good Superman movie. But I think Fortnite Superman sucks. I hate
do
it.
understand the point that you were making, how they have like the other superheroes, whereas like Man of Steel and then like the original Superman movies, it was just him.
right.
So I
but
don't know why
Superman
they would have
Returns.
added the other
Ma-
heroes that were gonna be in the Justice League. Like I guess the
because
newer
Man
Justice
of Steel
League.
doesn't make any sense. Okay, the whole city's getting destroyed by lasers. In fact, the whole world is affected by it. And there are people that are active at that time, proven by Batman versus Superman, and nobody else does a thing about it. They're just there. That's stupid.
That's the problem with world building in movies in the first place.
That's why this movie makes sense. That's why. Yes, it does. They established all this. So
I
that
still find it weird that it's a Superman movie, but it's not just, but it's not, not just Superman.
Because
as
if you're
it being his solo movie, like it's supposed to be,
if you're building a DC universe, which this movie is supposed to be doing,
they
you
could have
can't-
just done the same thing that Marvel did and just do a movie for each separate character.
That'd be dumb because they've already established that Batman is already active.
But they're using a completely different Batman along
Okay,
with all the
then
other
where
members.
was Batman? Why do you have Guy Gardner, the moron, and Hawk Girl, the ineffective, and
Effective?
the
Did you watch the final battle at all?
and the personality list, Mr. Terrific,
Mr. Terrific doesn't have a
literally
big
doesn't
person-
have a personality at
That's
all.
His character, I don't know what you want.
I
But
still
but
like
you leave
Mr. I
Batman,
still
who's
like the
actually
character.
effective at all kinds of things, including planning how to attack something or how to do.
He doesn't know Batman.
Because
And how is Batman supposed to get to Baravia?
I don't want Batman in Baravia. How
Where
about
did you want him?
Metropolis?
What would he do in Metropolis?
Well, that's where the big giant dinosaur thing was attacking.
What would he do against
That's
that?
where the rift was.
What would he do against
I
that?
thought Batman doesn't really go to Metropolis. He stays in Gotham.
No, he goes.
I thought the
he
whole
goes to
reason there was a
Metropolis
justice
several
hall.
times.
Oh.
I thought the whole reason there was a Hall of Justice is because Batman bought one.
They made it clear that Maxwell Lord is the person funding the Justice League
Who?
currently. Maxwell Lord, he's a Superman villain.
Oh,
Well,
He's
character.
a Wonder Woman villain.
No, he was used for Wonder Woman. He's more Superman, Supergirl. Did you not watch
Another-
Supergirl? Do you just not remember parts? He was a main character in Supergirl season 1
He was the main character in one of the Wonder Woman movies.
because they used a random character. They just went to the DC hat and said, "Oh, let's pick a random character. Maxwell Lord, gotcha. Pedro Pascal, gotcha. He's one of the top actors. Great. Let's make that work." That's literally the. I'm
Pascal
pretty sure the
have to do
most
with
thoughts that they put
Maxwell
into.
Lord.
Huh?
Okay.
because
What?
they used Pedro Pascal to play.
I
the
know,
character.
but
I'm just
they
saying.
could have
But
chosen
Wonder Woman
anybody and
was
still
still a
chosen
terrible
Pedro
movie.
Pascal. No, it wasn't. Wonder Woman was a great movie.
It was awful. Anyway,
It was. Wonder Woman 1 is a great movie.
It was
Wonder
okay.
Woman 1984 is not a great movie.
mid. Both are awful, but
No,
one's
Wonder
more
Woman is
mid
good.
than the other.
Again, is
You can skip it and,
You-
and live better for it.
DC
Just like
is
this
one
movie.
of the
This movie's
hardest
better.
universes for me to talk about because I know nothing.
And it's not.
I only know like the
Because there's not
dumbed
been any
down basics.
because there's not been anything exciting in DC since Christopher Nolan. And even if you hated
Nice.
him, no, stop. Even if you hated Christopher Nolan's versions of the movies, it was exciting that somebody was doing something different that wasn't campy and stupid like the George Clooney Batman and the Val Kilmer Batman, which I actually ended up liking, but they were campy and kind of dumb.
I will say the last DC movie that I enjoyed was the first Suicide Squad movie.
Gross.
Sorry.
All the Suicide Squad movies
No,
are trash.
the first one's trash. The second one's really good.
The one with John China and it's just as bad.
Watch the second one. You'll love it.
So
You actually will love the second one. It's really good. It
Well, and
leads
I need
into
to watch-
Peacemaker perfectly.
I was about to say I need to watch Peacemaker.
It leads
too.
into Peacemaker perfectly, and then it leads straight into Creature
If I
Commandos.
want to continue with this, I guess, new line of the Justice League or whatever,
Where do you start?
yeah.
Start with the Suicide Squad first.
it's not
Okay, so that
technically
one-
part of this universe.
It is canon to this universe.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. They've already said that. The events of that movie are canon. Yes, they are. His son died in the same way. Peacemaker is canon, which it
I
directly
understand.
address-
They said Peacemaker is the first canon thing to this universe.
Blue Beetle is too.
No,
I don't
Yes,
know if I
both
want to
are-
watch
yes,
Blue
the
Beetle,
stat-
though.
Blue Beetle
awful.
and the first and the
Stupid.
second Suicide Squad movie are both canon to this universe.
and both stupid.
that's the
So
only.
I don't
That's
need
the only
to, so I
reason.
don't need to watch the Batman. That is tied
No,
to a
that's
completely
an
Yeah,
different
you know
universe.
what? You know what? You need to watch the Batman because it's actually good, and you don't need to watch those two movies because they're actually trash.
Except you won't understand half the stuff going on in the movie in the current DCU without them. So you need to watch them.
True.
what's to understand?
Well, first of all, Blue Beetle
Literally
is being
nothing.
treated
Well, it's
as a
like
major main character, and the Suicide Squad leads into everything else. You won't understand certain character arcs without it. Why would you understand why Rick Flag Sr. is mad at Peacemaker in Peacemaker season 2 if you didn't watch Suicide Squad?
Who cares?
You have okay.
Who-
you just
who
lost all
care-
credibility there.
Who cares why some guy who's gonna die off in the next thing he's in is mad at some guy who's making the final season of his show?
What are you talking about? Peacemaker 2 is not the final, or season 2 is not the final season, and Rick Flag's not going to die. Why would you even assume he's going to die?
Dude.
He's a mainstay. He's already signed several contracts. What are you talking about?
Dude.
So is he. All of the people in this movie are coming back for several projects.
I had to go back and watch stuff for like some of the new Marvel stuff. Otherwise, I would have had no clue
Nothing
what was
about
going on.
nothing about Suicide Squad is relevant except that it introduces you to Flag, John Cena, and the stupid Weasel. That's the only thing important about it is that you see them. Now that I've told you that they exist, you don't need to see the Suicide
Except
Squad.
you
It's
don't
stupid.
know what happens, so you need to watch it regardless.
Doesn't matter.
He's just telling you this because he doesn't like John Cena.
And then Blue Beetle, I like
Yeah,
Sholo,
but they're
but
they're
it's
making a sequel.
Stupid movie.
You can't watch the sequel without it, so that makes no sense.
We'll see if there's a sequel.
They're
might not
working
be.
on the sequel right now.
We'll see.
That's already been okay.
And Creature Commandos is good as a standalone. You don't need to know anything that happened before Creature Commandos to watch it. It's actually a pretty good cartoon.
Not entirely.
It starts
true.
out crappy.
Rick Flag
but
Sr.
it's
is the
pretty good.
dad of one of the characters that dies in the Suicide Squad and has a whole arc revolving around it. So why would you ignore that?
I mean, it's not important to the cartoon at all.
Oh yeah, one of the main characters is just not important to the cartoon at all. That makes sense.
His son's not in the cartoon.
His dad is in the cartoon and
Again.
addresses the Suicide Squad.
In one line.
Multiple. You need to rewatch it.
You
It's
need to
multiple.
rewatch
They
it.
talk about it a lot. It's not just once or twice. They address it a few times.
I swear to you, if you never watch any of them, you won't miss anything.
Oh,
Except that
God.
Creature Commandos is entertaining after episode 2.
Yeah, just watch like 25% of the current universe and skip everything else. That just makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Well, that's like if I knew like
Well, here's what you need to do. Watch Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War, and then skip right to Endgame. Everything's fine.
I've actually done that. I've literally watched the first 3 Iron Man movies, then like a week later would watch Civil War, and then like another week I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna watch Endgame now.
But you saw everything else before you got there, right?
The difference is
It's in building a universe, you should watch the core stuff, and those are currently the core stuff. I don't know why you wouldn't watch them now while there's
Because
not
the
a
core
whole-
stuff
Well,
of the
then now
Marvel
I feel like I
universe is
should've
way
watched-
more important characters than Weasel.
If you're
Except that-
wanting me to watch the core stuff, though, I feel like you should have told me, hey, if you do still plan on watching Superman, since Guy Gardner is going to be there, you should watch the
Guy Gardner's not in
Lanterns
anything.
show.
Lanterns is coming out later. That's not out yet.
Oh, I thought it was
No,
already.
No,
it's
it's
a
coming.
sequel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay.
This is the
Lanterns
This
is
is-
going to be important.
skip what he's saying for a second. It's important to watch the stuff now instead of waiting till you get to like 50 projects in, and then this stuff starts mattering, and then you have to go back and rewatch everything.
Tell me something real quick.
I had a
Did you watch Naruto?
no
Did you watch any anime?
Dragon Ball and Demon Slayer.
Okay. So you know how you get those really important 12 or 15 episodes in a season, and then you get like a whole bunch of filler
Yeah,
that you want it for the lore, but if you skipped it, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
yeah, that's what
Okay,
they did with
Lantern-
Z Kai.
Yeah, so Lanterns is going to be like hardcore. You need to see it, right? Just like Superman, you can't have a DC universe where you miss Superman because he's the core hero of the DC world. Superman, Batman,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. Can't miss it. You won't be able to miss Lanterns. That's important. Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos are filler.
Except they're leading to something else, so that's not
They're
true.
they're filler in the same way that Thunderbolts is filler. It was a cute movie. It's not really going anywhere.
Okay,
It was
but
filler.
that's not true.
It's the same thing.
He has a plan for these characters to do something bigger, so you should watch them.
But see, I had to go back and watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier before Captain America: Brave New World.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of going back and watching everything when something important comes up, it'd just be better to watch it now while it's fresh.
Except that, in my opinion, you lost very little by not watching.
Except you don't know that because you don't know where he's building with those characters. You're just saying that.
By not watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you
To-
missed
to be fair,
you
though,
missed
I
John
did-
you missed John Walker's introduction.
Yeah.
But other than that, what did you miss by if you don't see
Well,
Captain America?
You have
If
no
I-
idea.
if
who-
I
what are you
missed
talking about? Brave New
Falcon
World. You
Winter
can't watch Brave New World with any context.
If I
without it.
still didn't watch Black Widow before Thunderbolts, I probably would still be confused on who,
Yelena was.
yeah, and what she did to be in the current position that she's in.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of going back and watching these right before it comes out,
Yeah.
why not just watch them now when it's fresh? When there's very little in the universe. Literally, it's just Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, and Blue Beetle right now, and Superman. That's it. That's not that lot. It's not a lot. Now you're 50 projects in, and it starts to matter, and then you have to go back and watch everything. Why would you do that? That's such a waste of time. Just get it over with now.
I just don't see them being that important.
Except he said that they're going to
Especially-
do things with those characters that are
Especially because I
important.
don't even think that this universe lasts the 10 years that the MCU has lasted. Longer now, 15. I don't think this
DC
universe
keeps
lasts
I think
rebooting
you're-
and restarting every single
well,
character.
this is supposed
Right.
to be the last time it's rebooting and restarting. So
Because they're going to go broke when this doesn't work.
I think that's just a defeatist argument for the sake of being a defeatist argument.
I mean,
To
they
be
haven't
fair,
done it right to this
Marvel
point,
has
and I don't think this movie was that great.
Marvel has definitely outclassed DC by a long shot.
When outside of everything before Endgame,
Just in general, they've been able to keep going versus having to reboot.
they were literally on the verge of canceling everything.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about outclassing. I would love the opinion on this. This will be good for this episode. This is the real first movie of the DCU. Who cares about Blue Beetle? We all know that's trash. Suicide
I
Squad
don't.
was trash. You don't. But it is. Look, you know why it is? You know why it is?
I just don't
'Cause
know
it-
much
it-
about Blue Beetle,
it-
Beetle as a character in general.
It came and went, and they didn't build a universe around Blue Beetle. It was a
I
it
thought
was a
since
filler.
it came after the Batman,
No,
I
it was
thought
a-
every project coming after the Batman movie was going to be connected
No.
to that.
While
So
while James Gunn was trying to get this Superman off the ground and this universe off the ground, Blue Beetle already was written and ready to record, and so they went ahead and did it. And he said, "I'm gonna tie it into my universe," but it was filler. It was just something to bide the time until he could get Superman made. Agreed.
Except that there's a 2, so that's not true.
No, it is
he's
true.
Producing a
It
sequel.
was already, but Blue Beetle was already being made before James Gunn really got Superman off the ground, and it was something he said, if you make it in this way where it's not tied to the old stuff, I can tie it to my new stuff. But it wasn't the first technical James Gunn project because it was going.
It is going into his universe.
I
so-
know. Just bear with me for a
Okay,
second.
fine.
True or not true, it was a thing before James Gunn, and he adopted it into his universe.
Sure.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, stay with me. So the real first thing is Superman, correct?
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware of.
The real first thing is Superman. So let's say you said MCU has outclassed DCU, and you said where? Let's take the first movie. Was Iron Man.
That's not what I
One.
was referring to.
Hold
That's-
on.
Okay.
Was Iron Man 1 better than this Superman for launching a universe?
No.
You think this
I
launches?
really
think that-
like Iron.
You think this is launching a universe better than Iron Man launched the MCU?
Let me explain my. side
Please
of
do.
this.
I'm going to be quiet and hear this.
I like the way that Superman sets up a universe better than Iron Man. Iron Man puts way too much emphasis on one character and doesn't do a great job world building. Like you don't even know that like we get to Iron Man 2 and you see Cap's shield and it's kind of in the process of being built because they were discussing that Tony creates vibranium. They didn't know they were going to do Black Panther. And to me, that's not good world building. In fact, Incredible Hulk had to delete a scene showing Captain America in the ice at the beginning of the film.
You
just-
showed me that deleted scene,
Yes,
right?
yes. And I'm saying they had to cut that because then they realized, oh, well, we actually want to do something different with Captain America later. They didn't put enough emphasis on the world building aspect of Iron Man first. And so it feels weird when you start getting to some of these other movies because then it's like, oh yeah, superheroes have really only been around in the Marvel universe for like 8 years, but then you have Captain America or Captain Marvel coming in and being like, well, actually, we had a whole other universe of stuff you didn't see, but then it has trouble like tying in because it wasn't introduced early on. Here with Superman, you have enough world building to set up a whole universe, a whole bunch of stuff that can build off from just this one movie alone. I think this movie does a better job world building to create a universe where Iron Man really only had the success of one character, and then they really had to do the world building after Captain America to make everything fit.
Thoughts?
Okay. I can see that because I will say Captain Marvel was definitely where they did screw up because they literally released it right. Was it the movie right before Infinity War? Or was it like
Well,
2 or 3 movies?
And it's not just
back?
Captain Marvel; it's Ant-Man. It's also what else? Doctor Strange. It's other characters that have supposedly existed this whole time. Why weren't they at the Battle of New York? Why wasn't
Doctor Strange didn't
I'm
exist
not
then.
talking about Doctor Strange. I'm talking about his mystical world of everything. We didn't get to see any part of the mystical world involved in the Battle of New York until Endgame, when they had to go back in time and then retcon things to make it fit because these characters actually existed the whole time. That's my point. Is like I don't think
Okay.
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't build a universe first. They built a character, and then they had to go back and do all the world building, and then things just don't really make sense now. Like, for instance, there's been scrolls this whole time. Well, why didn't they do anything with the scrolls for like years? Why did it take till Captain Marvel, Secret Invasion, and Spider-Man Far From Home to really do anything with the scrolls? Like, that's kind of silly, right? Here we have, there's the Green Lanterns have been set up so we can actually address, and they did address the Oath. They have addressed parts of the Green Lantern world here, so we can actually see that. They've
Did they?
addressed, yeah, they did. He talks about his oath with Lois Lane. I'm saying that they've
Oh.
built enough to build off of it already instead of having to go back and create it later and then be like, oh yeah, by the way, this character exists. He just didn't do anything because we forgot. You know, it's like you don't have to go back and address that later. So this movie does a
Okay.
better job.
I see where I was, where my words were misinterpreted. Marvel has been able to keep one universe going while DC has had to restart multiple times.
Well, DC didn't restart necessarily multiple times. They were never intended to build a universe in the first place.
That's not true.
With Man of Steel, they were intended to build a universe, but Christopher Nolan wasn't supposed to build a universe, not originally. They got the idea from Marvel to build a universe, and that's why Man of Steel exists. And they wanted Christian Bale's Batman to be a part of that universe initially,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to push it, but Zack Snyder said no. And so they started building their universe afterward. And actually, Green Lantern was supposed to be the push for that too. Was the first Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds? Yeah, the really bad one. Yeah, they were gonna push for a universe connected with that as well. That was after Iron Man succeeded, though. That wasn't before. They were never initially building a universe. It was only ever the Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy,
Yeah.
the Batman movies that were made in the 90s, and the Superman movies early on.
Okay.
And then you had TV
okay,
shows.
Yeah. So they really didn't start trying to make a connected universe until Man of Steel once they saw
Correct.
Marvel start doing Avengers and all the other stuff.
Yes, that is correct. That
Okay.
was never, they've only rebooted once.
Well, then my point now just kind of seems less valid.
Yeah, they only ever rebooted one
Okay.
time. I mean, because I know there was talk of the Arrowverse joining the movies at some point, but
See, that's why I thought like they had already started their own thing and then they just completely scrapped it.
no, it was a messy thing because they never actually confirmed that they were doing that. There was just rumors that, oh, this character could be the one that we see in the movies. And then Zack Snyder was like, no, I'm doing my own thing. Why would I do that? That's stupid. Which I kind of agree after watching all the Arrowverse. I don't think those would have fit the movies very well just for tonally because Zack Snyder had his own vision of what those movies looked like. And
Yeah.
the Arrowverse does not fit that after like season 3 of Arrow. So, but there's never been a official DC universe until Zack Snyder and then also the Arrowverse. And even that was done by accident. Initially, what was going to happen is in Smallville, they wanted to do Batman. They were blocked from doing Batman because the Dark Knight trilogy existed, and they had this weird thing where they couldn't allow two versions of the same character to exist at the same time. So they made Oliver Queen the character in Smallville.
Okay.
But Oliver Queen became so popular in Smallville, they wanted to make a spinoff, which led to Arrow. But then it didn't become a spinoff. They actually rebooted the whole thing and just made it a Batman without Batman.
So that makes the Snyderverse the third attempt.
What?
Well, you have the Smallville verse, the
Not even-
Arrowverse,
I'm not
and
sure.
then the Snyderverse.
I'm not sure that the Smallville verse was going to be a thing. Smallville was going to be its own thing. They were just looking to make money.
But you
off of it.
can't call one the Arrowverse and not the Smallville because Smallville had more heroes in it than the Arrowverse did.
Yeah, in like the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't trying to build a universe.
It was entirely building a
It was
universe.
So
a singular show.
Where
it was never supposed to
where was
build
Titans supposed to tie into?
nothing.
Oh, really? They
Ti-
just decided
Titans,
to do.
yeah, Titans
Just
was
a show.
Okay.
Yeah, an awful show at that.
Man, it
But
had so much
thought-
potential
I thought
too.
it was them attempting to
No.
bring the Teen Titans into whatever they were doing at that time.
there had been a push for a serious Teen Titans show for a long time.
So much
Outside of
put
the old
They-
classics.
no,
But-
so much of a push that some people started a web series
Yeah,
themselves,
I was gonna
trying to make it happen.
But okay, so basically what happened is 2003 happened, the original Teen Titans
Yeah.
happened, right?
The
And then
good one.
it canceled. It ended. They set up for maybe something if they got another season, but they were planning to end. They were done. And so they made Teen Titans Go. Well, people really liked Young Justice too, and that ended early as well. And then they were like, why haven't they done a live action Teen Titans? Why didn't they do that? And finally there was this big enough push that someone actually went and made a Nightwing show on YouTube, and it was pretty good.
It
And they
actually
finally
pretty
saw
good.
the success of it, and they were like, okay,
We could do this.
let's do it ourselves. Except they didn't understand why that worked so well. The show has a very clear arc through it. Instead, they just kind of redo the same arc every
4 times.
season for Dick Grayson, and it's like, why'd you do that? Like, that's not the point.
Was that the one that you were telling me where like Robin, like he starts progressively getting better with his character development, and then like
they start the new season. He starts
and then
all
he
So,
over.
just
in
completely
that show
falls
yeah,
backwards.
so in that show, they were building to an ending where he became Nightwing at the end of season 1,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't. They scrapped the whole final episode. It just made it the first episode of season 2. But in season 1, the Titans never existed. They didn't have a team before. They're just kind of people building to a team. They had just a bunch of super friends that knew each other when they were kids, but they were going to build to a team.
Yeah.
Well, then they retconned everything. So they were like, and it's even worse.
They start referring to each other as back in the past when we
yeah. So then
when we were a team in the past.
They use the word Titans almost like 50 times in the first episode of season 2 because they never used it once in the first season because they
Yeah.
Good.
it was
God.
so
It's so bad.
bad. And then on top of that, right? Dick does not wear a costume for all of season 2. He is the leader, but he doesn't wear a costume. He's just kind of like not Robin, but not Nightwing. And he
Yeah.
doesn't become Nightwing until the final episode of season 2. And then it's just like, he spends the whole time being like, I'm not Batman, but I act like Batman and I'm going to brood all the time. And everything's constantly my fault. The team is falling apart and splitting up every season. And then, yeah, and it's
It's
so
the same
bad.
story over and over again.
Literally.
Okay.
And
With
and
a different villain.
okay, and to kind of draw this back to what we're talking about, this is why I'm not inspired with tons of confidence in this movie. Again, I thought the movie was entertaining. It's great. Go have some popcorn and grab a Coke and watch a fun movie. I don't think it's a great Superman movie. I don't think it's a great DC movie. I think it's very average. I think it's I said, is this Superman or super mid? You
Okay,
guys know
all
I
right,
feel that way. But hold on. So
What do you
I'm not
cons-
inspired with confidence. I do see your point. I'm going to grant you your point that Marvel took Iron Man, which basically we know the story. They invested all their money in Iron Man in hopes that it would be good, and they almost sold the company.
Yeah.
And Iron Man turned out to be such a hit that it allowed them to build the MCU. So yes, they did have to scramble and build an MCU around the character. So I'll grant you the point that this sets up more opportunity. But because it's DC, I don't have high hopes.
Track record.
I don't have high hopes that they're
Now,
going to do something with the opportunity
I
that
do
they
feel
have.
like because it is James Gunn, DC may actually have a chance because
I'm going to
James
argue
Gunn
your point.
did good with Guardians.
No, he did not. I'm going to argue your point. Guardians 1 is fantastic.
2
Guardians
was great.
Guardians 2 is garbage.
That's a lie.
I
Guardians
still need to watch
Guardians
3.
3 is a dumpster fire.
That is also a lie. What are you
He
talking about?
gets progressively worse as he makes movies. It's
You're gonna
almost
disagree.
It's almost as bad as Taika Waititi taking Thor Ragnarok and making
Nowhere
it better,
close.
making it better than Thor 2, but then
Oh
taking
my God.
taking Thor 4 Love and Thunder and making the most garbage movie the next time. James Gunn gets progressively worse the deeper he goes into the movie. So I don't have a ton of confidence
Complete
that this is going to be
fallacy.
better. It's not.
Absolute fallacy.
I keep saying that I'm gonna
You
go
need
back
to
and
watch Guardians 1.
I need to watch. Well, I'll go back and watch Guardians 1 through 3 all the way through. That way I can actually
Yeah.
get to 3
You should.
because I also don't remember the last 2.
Probably throw Infinity War and
then-
Endgame in there just for the full.
Well, and I want to throw back. I want to throw in there Thor: The Dark World because it's been a while since I've seen it.
You should watch it again. I actually watched a really good clip from it the other day
And then
Because-
I still like Thor Ragnarok
because there was a scene.
I like Ragnarok.
There's a scene that I really love.
and I swore Thor: The Dark World was not that bad.
It's not.
It's
And-
the worst
and actually,
movie in the MCU.
one of my favorite
The worst
favorite
one.
scenes is when Thor and Loki are arguing with each other, and he's like, you had your mother's love, but I had her trust." And he's like, "Well, where did her trust lead her?" And then it's where did having her trust lead her? And he's like, what was it? "Well, you weren't there," or something. He's like, "Why wasn't I?" Or "You were in prison, so you couldn't have done anything." He's like, "Who put me there?" It's like you. It's a really great moment. It's the two arguing with each other about the faults of how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
It's really,
think-
and it's
I
such an
think
emotional.
what I
It is an
might-
emotional movie.
I think
love
what I
that
might
movie.
actually
trash.
do is watch
You
Thor
have
1
bad
and
taste.
2. That
No,
way
even
I
the
have a
villain in the movie said it
refresher.
was
The,
trash.
the villain of the movie is bad, but he's not.
Christopher Eccleston said it was the worst movie in his history.
The story of the characters.
He's like,
is
I
more
will
important.
never
It
be in a
is-
movie that bad again.
It's okay. The villain is saying, "Oh, the movie was bad. He was a bad." I don't care about the villain. The character arc for Thor and Loki is more important than the villain.
The money speaks.
Oh, okay.
The money speaks.
It wasn't a bad movie.
It's one of the worst grossing films in the MCU.
Okay.
It's
I thought that
horrible.
would have gone to Love and
At
Thunder.
this point, it's
horrible.
It's gone to other movies. It's not Thor: The Dark World anymore.
It's horrible.
It's not. But you also
But
said
when
Guardians
I-
3 is
when I
horrible,
think
and
of
now
Guardians
I've
3 is not
lost
good.
lost all credibility.
Guardians 3 has some emotional moments,
It
but it's
has
not
a lot of emotional
but
moments.
it's not
great.
a good movie.
We've already discussed this, okay? Because like it ends in a place where it could lead off for other characters to do things, and
Other
it's a really
characters
good
that,
movie.
that nobody's interested in.
That's not even true. There are a
So-
lot of people excited for the
Aga-
next
aga-
Guardians
No,
adventure.
again, it's James Gunn, Guardians 3, Superman, set up to do something, but I have zero confidence in either franchise.
I have confidence in James Gunn.
I don't.
I do too. He's actually really good. In fact, one of my favorite movies from him is Brightburn, which is another Superman movie, but it's evil. It's evil.
Oh, Brightburn is
Oh,
a great
I've heard
movie.
of that.
Oh yeah, Brightburn's a great movie, but this movie sucks.
He didn't dude, he didn't follow up on Brightburn. I don't know that he would do
He
Brightburn
was
too
never-
well.
He was never going to.
Right. I'm
It
saying
was
he can
supposed to
do
be
an
a
initial
one-off.
movie well.
This is the initial movie.
It's okay. I said it's entertaining.
Oh.
I agree with you that it sets up a universe. I just don't agree that he can carry it through.
I disagree with that. He did Guardians great. I think I don't even know what you're on right now for you to say that Guardians is not good.
Guardians 1 is
Had
great.
some good
Guardians 3 follows up on Guardians 1 with Rocket in a great way.
Eh.
He's the main character of that story,
I know.
and it's amazing.
It's got moments.
It's got more than moments. The whole movie is good. It's
got
well set
moments.
up and it's really good. The only disappointing thing is the way they treated Gamora because he didn't have a say in what happened to Gamora in Infinity War.
Like I said, it's got moments.
It's got a lot of great moments. The whole movie's fine. It's great.
I'm still.
So
gonna
all
go
it
back and
takes for
watch it.
Cameron to say that a movie is great is if it tugs at his heartstrings a little bit.
That's
If it does, then it's a great movie. And it doesn't matter if the plot made sense.
the
or
plot did
characters,
make
anything.
sense.
All
What are
the-
you talking
All
about?
that matters is there a scene that tugs at his heartstrings and makes him want to tear up a
How
little
did
bit?
you
And then
not-
it's a good movie.
How does Guardians 3 not make sense to you?
I didn't say it doesn't make sense. I said it's okay. It's not great.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, and y'all can't really talk about the plot since I don't know. what
That's
the
fine.
movie
Yeah,
is.
that's right. That's fair. You're gonna watch the movie and then you're gonna love it, and then we're gonna come in here and talk about it.
Do you love movies just because they make you tear up?
I don't
I
think
only like
Is that all
movie-
it takes?
he
No.
doesn't cry in movies.
No,
Okay. So you may or may not like it.
the only,
That's a lie.
I guess the only source of media that almost made me cry was Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I didn't like.
Blackbeard's death was.
I don't care for Assassin's Creed. I like
I
maybe the first couple.
really
games.
like
I just didn't really care for the
Blackbeard.
franchise. It started to drop after like 3 or 4.
Black Flag was 4.
Was it 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3.
Really?
Yeah, I just stopped caring.
Because 4 is when they really improved on the ship combat and just the overall combat in
Yeah,
general.
I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't my thing. After the first couple, it wasn't.
Sorry,
my
that
thing
was a
anymore.
weird tangent.
And-
I don't know why.
But see, the only
So-
the only thing that I would be like, this is weird for you, or this isn't weird for you because I know your opinions on it. But I don't. I to me, it's like this is crazy. Is he'll come in here and say that all the Transformer movies are good,
Yes.
and I can't agree with any of that.
And Michael
That's-
Bay's coming back.
And this is why we can't take your opinion on any movie.
What? Michael
So-
Bay is the reason that Transformers sucks.
Once it hit Age of Extinction, because he barely had a hand in the project.
3 sucked.
Dark of the Moon was great.
It was bad. 2 was bad too. 1 was probably
No.
the only okay one, and it wasn't even good.
And on that note,
Oh,
we're not going into a
froze
whole.
up again.
Anyway,
We're not going into a whole Transformers thing here, so
But no, for this movie, it's really good. I like it. I think it does a great job setting up a DC universe, which is what it's supposed to do initially anyway. It is, and I think it does a great job with Superman as a character. It characterizes him very well. He has a really good arc in it. All of the stuff that they pulled is from the comics. It's fun to watch. I love Crypto, which is a really good draw to the movie. I don't know what you were looking for going into this movie. I got everything that I wanted out of it, which is great because
Something
I
it
think
wasn't.
it's not something.
you
that-
asked what I wanted out of it. I wanted something that it wasn't.
What did you want from
I
it?
don't know, just not what I got.
Because I didn't want it to be Iron Man either.
I didn't want to get 2/3 of the way through it and start fighting, falling asleep.
From what?
Dang.
I mean, literally sitting there having to pry my eyes open
Yeah,
because
but
I was
what-
so bored.
How are you bored? The drama in the movie is great. I
It
love
is what it is.
Superman and Lois's relationship drama. It's great.
It is what it is. I was bored.
That's
I-
crazy.
I was ready to. I was
I
ready to
will
be
say
done with it
this
with
right
about 2/3 of the
here-
way through it.
This right here, where, this is the fight that he lost.
Yeah.
How is. I feel like the sun should be healing him right then and there.
No, they put him on. Yeah, well, no, because he was getting direct sunlight.
He's still getting sunlight. Here.
Okay, yes,
It's not in the
but
dark.
He's not. He's just lost. Okay. Yeah. Have you watched The Death of Superman?
No.
Okay, you should. But basically, he gets beaten like this to the point where he's near death. Like, he needs time to regenerate after fights like this. What they did is that they put him under a magnifying glass where he got extreme direct sunlight, and it healed him to the point where, I mean, he has broken bones. They address that.
Yeah.
That's why he's
Okay.
in pain.
Okay. He lost here to himself. We're really going to cut this episode off, but he lost here to himself.
Yes.
Okay.
But he has fought multiple Kryptonians at the same time.
Not in this universe. It's the first time he's fought a Kryptonian.
Nevertheless, he has fought multiple Kryptonians at the same time in DC Comics history.
He's lost to Zod multiple times.
Not like this. Not where he had to be dragged into the Fortress of Solitude by a dog because he couldn't
But he
function.
has been beaten like this by other people. So it's
by
not, and again, he didn't see it coming. He didn't know it was happening. He didn't know this could happen to him.
This happened in, I guess, technically Superman and Lois, where his brother transferred like the memories or minds of like the dead Kryptonians through that weird giant crystal thing, and then
Oh,
also used
yeah.
the yellow crystal or whatever it was called.
Yeah. But my point is that he this is the first time he's been beaten like this before.
I mean, Darkseid can do this to him solo.
Not just this. He can
And-
do worse than this.
And the creature that Darkseid sent, I don't know why I'm
Doomsday.
blanking. Doomsday can do this to him solo.
But more
But
than
he's
this.
But he's fought multiple Kryptonians at the
Not
same
in
time.
this universe. That's what you're missing. This is the first time he's fought a Kryptonian before. They make that clear. That is addressed in the beginning of this movie.
And to be fair, it's a knockoff Kryptonian at best because it's a clone.
No, it's still him. And they didn't do the excuse this time that they had to use Lex's DNA. They say it's directly from him. It's his clone. There is no human. It is a clone of Superman.
Yes, it's not Connor.
No, it's not Connor. It's an official full clone of Superman made from Kryptonian DNA only.
I just
So what?
I just struggle with it, man. You have to grant me that I struggle with it. That the history of
just-
Superman, regardless of if it's this universe or not, the history of Superman is that he can fight multiple Kryptonians
actually-
and he can win against multiple Kryptonians and he can fight multiple Kryptonians and not get damaged this badly, even if he loses, because he lost to Zod initially. he can fight them and lose and not get damaged this bad.
He gets
But-
back up and goes right back to the fight immediately.
Only because the dog
and he
dragged him
doesn't-
to the robots and the robots
he
gave him
flew
direct
away
sun.
first. He didn't get thrown there.
He
was,
crashed.
yes, from flying, from being injured.
My whole point is his clone is overpowered considering Superman's history. Regardless of if it's this universe, considering his history,
He knew, he was told every strategy to fight Superman and win, and he did.
I don't.
Well,
I don't-
Lex had also been watching from the background.
That's what I'm saying.
I
They
know.
had
That's
all
And
the
had the
context is
drones
there to tell
to
you why it
basically-
happened.
Again, like Taskmasker, figure out his moves.
Oh yeah,
That's
they did
stupid.
mention that too. They had drones following the fight
Yeah.
to make sure that they had eyes everywhere.
Yeah.
And once Clark figures that out, he's able to beat him. So I'm not really sure.
With
All the information is there to give you the reasons why he loses. You're just choosing that it doesn't.
It's just dumb.
that
That being said,
okay.
it's a great argument. We're gonna leave a question for everybody to answer. Is this Superman or super mid?
It's
I'm voting super mid right off. So I will, but I will leave that in the episode. And with that, if you like the argument, if you like what we had to say, like, share, subscribe, follow, ring the bell for notifications, leave a comment, answer the question. We'd love some feedback from everybody who sees this
We're
episode.
ending it here
We're
because we
ending
didn't
it.
even get to Supergirl.